Ooh, it's bright. Very, very, very bright. Let's see if I can do something about that. You know, let's see. I don't know, maybe. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, Jackie. How are you? How we doing this morning? All right, Miss Jackie. Good to see you. Rebecca may not make it. She's in the midst of traveling. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm a little sleepy. I didn't sleep much last night, but I'm here. I'm ready. Yeah, it's good. You got some videos coming out for today? Mhm. Oh, I get up at 6 because I have to be at work by 8. So I get up at 6, but I don't have anything going for today at work. I did everything yesterday. I'm going to try to continue to do that. So if I want to go live on Friday, I can do it without having to worry about work. So I've been trying to work that out. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little bright, huh? Yeah. Well, at least you can see me. You can, you can see me and you can hear me. Yeah. Okay. I'm on it. Good morning, Debbie Sue. Good to see you. How are you? Okay. I'll be sunshine today. And the sun is actually already out. It's already warming up out there. And oh my goodness, it's been hot over the last few days. Hey, Rebecca, she made it. How are you? Rebecca, are you in the midst of traveling? Are you on a plane? What's going on? No, you're not late. Just a few minutes. Yeah. Oh, so you're in a hotel right now. What state are you in? Wow. Everybody's getting their good mornings and good afternoons and good evenings in, depending on where you are. Alabama, oh my goodness. I would like to be, traveling a little bit, going here, going there, depending on what I'm going for. I really wanted to be on a cruise next month, but it's not going to happen until May. So Jackie had a good cup of coffee. I had mine too. I drink decaf, so it doesn't really, like perk me up or anything, but I bet, Rebecca. It doesn't really perk me up or anything, but I drink coffee for the taste anyway. So yeah. Yeah, a cruise. I went on a cruise in October. I think it was October 2025, and that was my first time, and I had such a good time. I had a really good time, and I was there on it for like 6 days. 6 days, I think it was. So it was really cool. So I don't know who else is going to be able to join. Kendy K is over doing I think a Sam's Club haul right now. So um, people are over there hanging out and having fun or what have you. So What do you guys think about the topic? Is recovery a destination? What do you think about that? Yeah. I wrote some things down because there's no way I can remember everything I want to talk about. And over the past few days, I just been thinking about this, thinking about that. Do I want to talk to it? Just a lot of thinking and wanting to provide a good space and bring a topic that everybody can relate to and speak on. So, yeah, I went ahead and tried to find the best definition that I could find for recovery because even though substance abuse may be for some of us or someone that may come in uh, a area for this topic as well, but I wanted to find a definition that speaks to basically everything. So my definition, okay, hold on one second here. It's hard to remember, so writing down what you want to talk about is a good idea. Yeah, for me, I have to write down things. Sometimes not. Like if I'm doing a long form video or just doing a regular video and I want to talk about whatever it is, ostomy life or, whatever's going on with that, I could just talk about it and I don't really have to write anything down unless I have questions for someone and then so I'll write those questions down and ask them while I'm doing the video. But I got a couple videos coming up, hopefully enjoying and getting something out of it. So with my definition, I wrote a self-directed, ongoing process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live in a self-directed manner, and strive to reach their full potential. It represents a shift toward wholeness, encompassing physical, mental, and social well-being. So that was my best Google definition that I came up with, but something in this definition stuck out to me, and that recovery is a self-directed. We're doing recovery in a self-directed manner, and not so much what someone else is directing us to do. It's a self-directed uh, recovery journey, and I'm gonna just go ahead and ask if you think that recovery is a destination. Is recovery a destination? What do you think? Just let me know in the chat. And let me see if I can put I like these little things here. Carry on Candace, welcome in. How are you today? It's good you at work, but it's happy Friday for you. Hopefully you don't work on the weekends. Hugs to you too, Miss Candace. Carry on. I love that tag. Carry on, Candace. Carry on, Candace. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, what do you think? Is recovery a destination? Oh, I just asked Debbie Sue if what do you think and is recovery a destination or is it something else? Just let me know in the chat. Rebecca says, with some things you may have an end goal, but some are ongoing, making it more of a journey than a destination. Okay, yeah. I think recovery is a destination. Debbie Sue says, how so, Debbie Sue? How so? I always try to come up with topics that, we can talk about and expound on and get all the different input and insight and intake and feedback on where we all are with certain things, and today recovery uh, is a good thing to look at. I Rebecca says, I think I to define what it means to be fully recovered. Okay. I um let me see what what I think about that. So for me, yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I want to talk about it because it's gonna look different for everybody. So um that's why I thought about it because recovery is big and it is actually different for everybody. For me, I see recovery as a ongoing process, but there are milestones. So when I think about recovery, I think about milestones and different things that I want to accomplish along the way. And I think that recovery is not there. I don't think that recovery has a destination, but it just has the milestones in it, which kind of takes me back to what you said earlier, Rebecca, that there are some things that are ongoing in the course of recovery. So it is in some ways, there might be destination points, which I think of as milestones. Yeah. But then once you hit that milestone, then you go on to the next. And by the way, I have a little congestion in my chest, so I may be coughing. Hopefully not, but I may be coughing, and so I'm not sick, just some congestion with the weather, and because at night I'm going through the hot flashes, so I have the heat on, and then when I had a hot flash, then I turn the air on, then turn the heat back on, and it's, just a little portable thing on my nightstand. So I'm back and forth. And so I think it caused me to become congested. So Debbie Sue says it mean having more good days, trusting my body again when my routine feels more nourishing than draining. Yeah, yeah. I found out something about my routine. And I remember a couple weeks ago, Rebecca said, to share something funny. So I'm going to share something funny, and then we can talk about, um, yeah, just a little congestion. We could talk about, the triggers that happen during recovery. But I was in a meeting with the founder of an organization that I volunteered for. And so we were doing the check-in and she asked me how I was doing. And I was like, I'm doing really good, but I'm a little tired because I'm tired of pooping. I'm pooping all the time. And so she asked me, she said, well, what are you drinking water? And I'm like, yeah, I'm drinking water. And I was telling her all about how I was in Alive, and I was talking about that I having really gotten my eating habits and routines down. But I said in the live that I got my water though. I'm drinking a lot of water. And so she asked me to show her the water. So I showed her the water, and I got it right here. Let me see if I can show you this. I got it right here. So this smart water. And she told me to look at the bottom of it. And so it says vapor distilled water and electrolytes for taste. So she was like, the reason why you're pooping is because of the electrolytes. You're not getting the electrolytes that you need. And so I was looking at her like, oh, I thought I really had it all had it all together. And she was like, girl, you need electrolytes. Hi, Kai. Outward Kai is here. Does anybody know Kai? Welcome, Kai. She called me Sunshine too, so I guess it is kind of bright. Yeah. Oh, Key, that's right. Key. Kendi K told us that yesterday, and I still said it wrong. Apologize. I apologize for that. Hey, Miss Key. Out with Key. So I was on a couple of her videos too yesterday, and they were nice and funny. Yeah. So um she was telling me that I needed these electrolytes. And Miss Key, I'll let you know what we're talking about in just a second. So she told me about this product right here, and that I needed to put this in my water and to drink, one packet every day. And since I've been doing it, I'm not having the output like I was having it. And so I don't feel as tired and stuff. But I felt really dumb when she told me that, because I was like, yeah, girl, I'm drinking my water. I'm drinking 6 bottles a day and stuff. And she was like, girl, you better get some electrolytes in your body. So that was cool. So Key, we're talking about what we think about recovery, and answering whether or not we think recovery is a destination. So I'm going to ask you, do you think recovery is a destination? Yeah. Do you think recovery is a destination? So I see it more as milestones within the recovery process. And having worked with incarcerated men, and I'm working with women now. I'm just writing on their behalf, but I never heard anybody say with I'm working in the area of substance abuse now, but I've never heard anybody say I'm a recovered addict, right? They always say I'm a recovering addict. So, because it's a lifelong or ongoing process. And Key says that it's a journey. Yes. And for me, within in that journey, there's milestones. So like doing the rebounding. Um, I had said before that I have never been a person that was like into exercising. But I know that I need to do it. I didn't When I was in junior high school, I flunked PE. I flunked PE in high school. And though I did, I played baseball for a little while, I never really was about working out and doing exercise and stuff like that. And when I got to the place where I was post surgery, I was walking a lot. And then I had a dog at the time too. So every day through that recovery process, I was getting out and I was walking my dog. But once I got back to work, I wasn't able to walk like that. I mean, my jobs, both of those jobs, keep me in this room and sitting a lot. So by the time 6 or 7 o'clock comes, I'm not like uh feeling like I want to walk, and then with the time change, it's already dark. So rebounding with Cheryl showed up in my life, and she came with this rebounder. And since I got it, uh rebounding is a milestone that I'm trying to reach to enhance my exercise and in my recovery process. So yeah, I I think that is not a destination, but there are milestones within that recovery process. Yeah, absolutely. Key says right. So in your recovery process, um, are there any triggers? What what triggers that might come up that could set you back in your recovery process? And can we, identify those triggers and recognize them like maybe red flags when they come or when they're approaching, I should say. Jackie says it's emotional. So yes, it's triggers. Yeah, I'm gonna share a trigger too that I have in this recovery process with living with the ostomy. And you know what? Off topic a little bit. I just thought about something. Jackie, you had asked me about if I thought about, maybe another channel or something like that. I really been thinking about that a lot. So I'm going to talk to you later because I want to ask you some questions about, you know, the the second channel, which I don't know, I probably wouldn't really have a lot of time to do, but because with this topic, there's no research or it's not really educational, though someone would learn from it and get a lot of information from whatever this channel is that I may be doing. But I want to talk to you about it first and get some insight from you. And I thought that I should bring it up now before I forget and get on something else because sometimes my wheels be actually spinning. So yeah. Yes, Jackie, you did. I be talking and don't remember. See, that's why I brought it up too, because you know, I didn't want to, forget about it. So now I put it on your mind, and so I can come back around to it. She said maybe it could be just unedited shorts. Maybe, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking. And I want it to be a surprise too. So, if I go through with it. So I'm not gonna let all the cats out of the bag. And Miss Key says, if it's on your heart, bring it out. You just lit up talking about doing it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's yeah, I think that it would be helpful more than anything because it's a very it would be a very deep topic. I don't know a deep channel. I don't know if it would be as deep as having cancer and living with the ostomy and all that entails, but it would be something that people would be able to resonate with and get something out of it, and maybe even have some life changes, because of it. you know. So we'll see. And Jackie says she don't keep count, but she loved the car videos. And I don't know, Miss Key, if you seen me. I did a couple videos recently in my car, which one of those videos was an emergency bag change that I had to do in my car. And I got a spot on my shirt. I don't know what's going on with that, but it was emergency bag change in my car. And then a couple weeks ago, I did a 2-day pop up event at the mall. So I had to do a video in the car. And Jackie was like, she liked those car videos. And I was like, I felt like I was looking so crazy. Yeah, okay, Key. Wow. And she says, Jackie says, it doesn't have to be about the acts. Me can't wait, hold on. You gotta okay, Jackie, you just typing fast. It doesn't have to be about I guess asking you anything. And you're saying that because I have a bright personality. So whatever you're gonna talk about, people listen. You could be talking about how green grass is, how green grass is. Okay. Okay, that's strengthening my confidence too. But yeah, I did these car videos and I was like, "Ooh, I've seen other people do videos in their car and it looked a little nicer or a little better. It looked weird to me and I was just like, "Girl, you look crazy." But Jackie said I don't and I take Jackie's word for it. Okay, no problem with the typos. I have them all the time and I have uh, speaking of typos, um, Auntie, Miss G, she did a video about verbal typos. And so I'm doing verbal typos all the times. And I'm like, and I'll say one word, but I need to say or meant to say a different word. So, typos, no issues. I just have to try to figure it out when we have them. But yeah, that was a good video that she did, and I was laughing about it. But yeah, verbal typos. So, Ms. Key says the video you think won't do good will be the main one. People like it. Yeah, and that's true because sometimes when I'm doing a video, I'll be like, oh, this is gonna be a good one, and I think it's, I think it's like super good. And people be like, girl, you know, but it's a beautiful thing. It's fun. I like doing the videos. I like to share. I don't have a problem with talking about things. I have a video that's coming up where I share a really big issue that I had. I got through it, but you'll see when the video come out, and it's coming out tomorrow, which is really off my normal schedule, but it's coming out tomorrow. Rebecca says, Sandra, you could talk about anything and your personality will shine through. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because I'm going to tell you guys, face to face, person to person, I'm just regular Sandra, regular me. But when I come on screen, it still feels different and I feel nervous and I'm like, you know, I guess it's the thought of being on camera. But I just push through it and I just love to talk and I love to share and I love to hear what other people are doing and saying. I've been living on YouTube. I don't really watch TV for the past coming up on 16 years. I have been a viewer on YouTube. So I've watched movies on YouTube. I watch videos about different things and anything I want to know how to do, I go to YouTube. Every now and then I'll get on the TV if I'm watching TV with my husband or if I have something to binge on Netflix. I'm a binger when I do watch TV and then I may not get on there again for months, but I'm on YouTube every day for the past almost 16 years. Okay, so Jackie says withdraws people to your video. What draws people to your video is not the topic, is you. I think that's what she's trying to say. It's your personality. Have you have a very friendly personality. That's why sunshine. Okay, stuff is popping up, blocking my view. Sunshine fits you. So I'm gonna adopt that nickname, Sunshine. I haven't had a nickname since high school. Thank you, Rebecca. And you know, it's just the transparency. I just really want to continue to be transparent. When I was younger, I was transparent in ways that I shouldn't have been, but I just love people. I want to talk. I want to help. I want to be friendly, and it's just who I am. So thank you for that. And thank you for the encouragement. And when you guys say things like this, it's still I don't care how confident a person is, it's a confidence boost, and it helps me to relax more when I'm bringing something to the table, whatever it is. If I'm just coming to the table and I'm just sitting there, I'm just here, yes. Yeah, I understood what you meant, Jackie. Yes. Debbie Sue, I'm still here and listening. My hubby came in and I'm helping him with something. Well, that's good, Debbie Sue. I know you right here. Debbie Sue, I see Debbie Sue on everywhere I go. Debbie Sue, I don't know how she is able to be on deck on all these different forums that we go on, but it's always, always so good to see you, Debbie. And again, them stories really, really make me feel good. I love the stories. Um, I was an avid reader of books, and now I'm learning to listen to opposed to reading so much. I'm learning to listen. So when you do your stories, I tune in and I just lay back, or I'll go make me some hot chocolate right before I start it so that I can get that relaxed feeling that you always give me. Yes. Keynote, Debbie Sue. Yes. So triggers, you guys. What triggers will set you back in the course of your recovery? Share some triggers with me, and I'll share a trigger. Mhm. My goodness, triggers. Seem like I don't know why we want to talk about triggers when I'm writing about triggers every day. And just in case you guys are curious, I know I talk about work sometimes, but what I actually do. So I'm a reauthorization clinician, which is basically I'm the person who writes the rationale for why someone that is in substance abuse treatment, why they would need additional time in treatment. So that's what my job is, and I'm writing that, on behalf of these clients, men and women, for 4 different facilities out of San Francisco. And so I'm telling the funding agency why this person needs to have an additional 30 days and then additional 30 days. Because I don't know if you guys know anybody or have people in your life that are going through substance abuse issues or in substance abuse treatment. But this funding agency, which is the county of San Francisco, they only allow like 90 days for a person to recover, right? So um, we come in to tell them no, they need an additional 30 days because they're still struggling with this. and their primary care physicians or mental health therapists or a substance abuse counselor is doing interventions, and I would name the interventions that are being done, and the challenge or the struggle that the client is continuing to have, and that's why they cannot discharge right now, because if they do, they are at risk of relapsing and sometimes even loss of life, especially with some of the different substances that they use. So that's what I do. I used to be doing individual therapy with incarcerated men, but when I went remote, I took on the reauthorization clinician position. So that's what I do. So I'm always probably going to be talking about work, because it's really important to me. So Rebecca says change of daily routine is a trigger for me. So yeah, and Rebecca, with this change that you had, this redirection that you had over the past couple months, I guess that would have been triggering for you, because you were, when I met you, you were in this place, and then something came up, and then it redirected you to a whole different place. So is that what you mean? So that I could be clear, that redirection and that change that you had to make in your life. So a trigger for me, ooh, is something called phantom butt. I know that sounds weird, but again, living with the ostomy and no longer having a backside. Sometimes it just say I get a stomach ache. If I get a stomach ache because I ate something, sometimes like if I eat syrup, which is something that I love on the pancakes, I might get a stomach ache. Okay, so the stomach ache is fine, but you know that feeling that you get when you get a stomach ache and you have to go? Sometimes I will feel it in the backside, and they call it phantom because it's not really there, because of course I'm going to go through my ostomy. But that feeling comes, and when that feeling comes, I get triggered by the thought of radiation treatment, which was the most struggling and most horrible time of my cancer treatment. And I start thinking about, even though I know I'm not going to go through my backside because there is no backside anymore, but the thought comes in here, and I think about the pain that I had when I had to go to the bathroom during radiation, and I spiral, and I have to immediately start going into self-talk and reminding myself that this is a phantom thing and it's not going to hurt you, and it's going to be okay. You never have to worry about your backside anymore. And so I have to talk to myself out loud to bring myself from, you know, spiraling out because of that trigger. But in this recovery process, that's a real trigger for me, and it does happen. Um, it does happen from time to time, and it drives me nuts. So managing that trigger and mitigating that trigger, is very important. That whatever triggers that we experience, we have to have some sort of mitigating uh, tool that we can use to keep us from getting too far off course with, as we're going through the recovery process. Yes, Rebecca says, yes, constantly moving is making it hard to have a daily routine. Surely, surely. Does anybody else have or experiencing any triggers, or have, had encountered a trigger and through your recovery process? Yeah, that was a serious trigger for me, and I have to really get to talking to myself. Otherwise, I would be going through it a lot. Yeah. So yeah, the triggers I put up there: coping and setting boundaries. So, maybe we can, walk through them. And I didn't tell you guys, but this is just part one of the live. So, if you guys would like, we can, on the next live, we can go into part two. I really would like to do that if everybody is all in. If you all in, put it in the chat, put a heart or something in the chat to let me know you're all in. I gotta stay hydrated, you guys. I apologize for drinking. So let me know, what you want to do. But I do have a part two, and that I would like to talk about with you guys. So if there's no triggers, what about coping skills? What kind of coping skills? Okay, hold on. Debbie Sue. Oh, Debbie Sue got the heart, so she's all in. Okay. Um, I put down coping strategies, tools for the journey. So what is your most reliable go-to coping strategy when you are having a difficult day on the long path or in the recovery journey? What coping skills do you go to when you're struggling? I'm sure that the recovery is not linear. As we already have established that it's a journey. Rebecca's all in. um things come up things come up in the course of our journey. So when those things come up, what do you do to help you stay on course? What do you do to stay on course? I have I go back to my to my workbooks. See this here, to get my mood and snatch back from any trigger or any disruption in my journey. I pull out these my workbooks, and I'll go through the workbook, and I'll actually print out whatever it is that is applicable to whatever is happening at that time in my life. I'll print it out, and I'll do a worksheet because I'm trying to mitigate and utilize a way of coping to keep me from going in another direction, because sometimes life hit us and it could take us out or take us to a whole nother place, and we want to stay in the journey and hit those milestones that we have set for ourselves. Rebecca says dancing, meditating, and painting. Yeah, Rebecca, you talked about dancing last time. So it would really be great if I really would like to meet up with some of you guys face to face and hang out. And Jackie, I mean, Rebecca, if I ever get to be face to face with you, we're gonna go dancing, because I love to dance, but I want to see you in your dancing mode. You're excellent and wonderful in your encouraging mode. Rebecca encourages me to the 5,000 power, and Jackie too. But I want to have a time in my recovery journey to get face to face with you guys. I want to meet Key. I want to meet Kendi K. I want to meet Debbie Sue. Cheryl. Everybody. I want to see everybody. And trust and believe, I be thinking about ways that could possibly make that happen. So I'm thinking about that too. You guys really don't know how important it is to me that you guys have come into my life. And, you know, it's a wonderful thing that we have um, the internet and YouTube and all these things to connect. But what would it be like to have a real physical connection and we're all in one place at one time? I think about that, and I would really love to have something like that happen in my life. And because you guys are so important to me already, and I've only been here maybe what 4 months, you know, and then I keep meeting, new people, and everybody is just wonderful. That would be so fun. I would love that. Yes, yes. And when Layla was here last time we did the live, and I was talking to her about the Ostomy conference, uh people from all over the world, when I was looking for other people who live with ostomies because I felt so alone. People from all over the world gathered in one place, and we had so much fun for 3 days. We were there for 3 days in Florida, Orlando, Florida, and it was like we knew each other, and we were like from high school together or from college together, and it was just so big and so refreshing and so loving and kind, and everybody was just so free and open, and just it was the biggest thing that happened in my life in the year of 2025, you know. So I think about what that would be like for my new community, my YouTube Living It community. And so yeah, that's something that I'm thinking about. And I always say at the end of a video, who knows what I might come up with next. So if I get to the place where I'm trying to coordinate something, something practical that we might could do to all get together, uh, just if you can roll with me, because it's something that would really mean a lot to me. So, okay, so we not really getting the coping skills. What about boundaries? What about boundaries? Key, how do you set boundaries in your recovery journey? What are your boundaries like? Debbie Sue says, I do slow, intentional breathing that tells my body I'm okay. I wrap up in a warm blanket and make a cup of hot tea and have a gentle self talk with myself. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. That self talking, it really helps. It really works. And I'm doing it out loud when I'm self talking. I'm like, girl, you know. Or sometimes I'll go sit on my front porch and I just talk about whatever it is. I talk it out with myself. Jackie says, have you heard of the Wade blanket? No, Jackie, what is that? What is that? The Wade blanket. Mm. Mm-hmm. Debbie Sue says, yes, I have. Can y'all share it with me? What is it? See, I get all excited. Yeah. Debbie Sue has heard about the wave blanket. I wonder what that is. And if it's something that's going to enhance my life, I want one. I do deep breathing prayer. Jackie says meditation, and I take a nap to slow things down sometimes. That's good. That's good. You get to take a nap. I would I'll be wanting to take naps. I can't seem to get to it. And sometimes when I have tried to take a nap, I'll go and lay down, but I can't get there. Jackie drinks warm tea too. And I like tea. I got my cute, you can't see it because I got this candle warmer thing going on, but this is my little teacup right there. And I like in the tea, the lemon in the tea and the honey, but I still kind of feel like I need sugar, and I really need to not be having all that sugar. So, but I love tea. I love hot chocolate. And Jackie says, I need that book. What book, Jackie? Jackie says I need that book. Is it a book about deep breathing? What's going on? you know, I got 10 eggs in my thing. I don't always have the whole 12 eggs in my carton. But yeah. So the boundaries, goals, boundaries, and managing the process. If recovery is a journey, I wrote, what kind of milestones or non-scale victories have you set for yourself instead of a finish line? So one of mine is to enhance my exercise and get in better shape. I'm getting older, and having never really taken care of my body throughout my life, I have finally decided that to level up, to grow up, and to do better by myself by getting that exercise and bringing some enhancement into my body. So Rebecca says, what is inside a weighted blanket? It seems like it would be cozy and like a warm hug being heavier than a blanket. Ah, what's inside of Okay, Debbie Sue or Jackie's gonna tell us. Yeah, Debbie Sue or Jackie is gonna tell us. I like throws, and I'm actually crocheting a blanket right now, Jackie. Um, Jackie says, I don't know, but I saw it on Amazon. I want one. She wants one. So now I'm about to go over there and start searching and looking because uh, I want to see it and know a little bit more about it as well. And I want to be warm and cozy, especially when I'm having a Debbie story. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A weight blanket. Had never heard of that before. You know, I know about those old quilts. I like quilts too, and throw blankets. But yeah, I sleep in a blanket all year long. That's right, Jackie. Sure. And you guys live in a climate that calls for thick, warm blankets. Here in California, even when it's cold, it's cold. It's cold, but not like the cold you guys be talking about in, uh, the snow and ooh, I don't know how I would have to be a person that really would have to adjust to the weather in some of these different states because and probably would really need a weight blanket if I came to visit one of you guys and it was snowing. I would be like, oh, even though I want to feel it, but I don't think I want to experience it for long periods of time, you know. So, but yeah, and being warm and feeling cozy is a coping skill, as well because that feeling of comfort calms you. So Debbie Sue says the blankets have some kind of beads that provide pressure against your body. That is supposed to soothe you and help you sleep and calm you. See? Yes. Mm, that might be, yeah, I'm going to look. I'm going to look on Amazon for that, because it does get like I live in a house. And so it's not a modern house, it's an old house. So there's no central heat and central air here. So when it's cold in the house, it's cold. When it's hot in the house, it's hot. So I do not like to be cold. So the weight blanket probably would be good for me. And not only that, the calming that it does, as Debbie Sue is saying, that it calms you and relax you. So yeah, when triggers and things are coming up in your life and in your journey, you know, you need to have something to bring you to a place of stability. So Rebecca says, lived in the Midwest my whole life, and I'm still not used to the snow. Wow. Yeah, that cold. You just imagine being cold and having some challenges going on in your life at the same time. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, so I would think also with the beads, they have some sort of heat that kind of corresponds with your body heat, I'm guessing, to penetrate and activate that sense of calm. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's something that I probably could add to my recovery because I have my throws and my blankets and stuff, and even the ones that I crochet. But if you know when you say weight, that's going to bring that extra pressure that you need to connect to your body and your inner self too. So yeah, okay. So you guys, with the boundaries, okay, hold on. Debbie Sue is saying, Rebecca, yeah, they are supposed to be really small and feel like smooth, kind of like sand. So the blanket isn't bulky. Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta go see. I gotta go see. So I gotta go see about that. And then once I get it, because if it's something I'm gonna get it and try it because I'm open to trying things that will enhance my life and enhance my recovery. And I do at times need to, calm down. because uh, not only living uh, a life of recovery from cancer and then the day to day life with living with the ostomy and managing it and uh, some of the challenges that I do have, when it comes to, I know it seems, you guys, that when I'm doing these videos, that it seems so easy, but it's not always easy. And I do have challenges with the bag changes sometimes. And it's uh, mental because sometimes I just feel like I don't want to get up in the middle of the night and change my bag. I don't want to do that. But sometimes when that happens, and I think about burden, sometimes it feels like it's a burden. And I know that it's a life-saving thing for me. And I'm so glad that having an ostomy and it saved my life. So don't get me wrong, but sometimes the day-to-day managing of it and some of the things that come up, that can be taxing on the brain, taxing on my mind, they come up and, I could just, get frustrated or, start feeling some kind of way about having it. And so those are the times that I would need to have a coping skill or have a warm blanket or a weighted blanket to cope with whatever I'm going through because of whatever is happening in my life at that time. So yeah, Debbie Sue said they're supposed to be smooth and but the blanket is not bulky. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because it might enhance my my recovery journey, and I want that, you know. So, but yeah, those are some of the triggers that I get, coping skills that I use, um, setting boundaries. Well, let me narrow that down a little bit um, to boundaries with other people, with people in your life, whether it's a coworker or a family member or a spouse, a sibling, your children. How does setting boundaries fit in to your life as it relates to the people that are around you? Can someone speak to that? I have to set boundaries, even setting boundaries with myself. Um, I have to do that. So I want to know what you guys think. Let's see here. I like these little emojis. So can someone share about the boundaries, any boundaries that you have have set in your life, the people around you, or even any challenges that you may have about setting boundaries. I know that one thing that comes up and people talk about this a lot, that they struggle with how to say no. What about that? You know, because sometimes people feel like saying no can be harmful or hurtful to the person or the thing, well, the person that you're saying no that you have to say no, or you end up doing something that you really don't want to do because you don't want to say no, you don't want to hurt that person's feeling, or you don't want them to feel like you're not being there for them, or something like that. Rebecca says she has much stronger boundaries as she gets older. Okay. I have to tell people that I am not up to visiting, or I am not up to a visit. Yeah. And is it hard to say that sometimes? Because, especially Debbie Sue, recently uh coming out of surgery, and surely people are wanted to come and check on you, and bring you soup, or bring you things, and um you just don't feel up to the visit, so yeah, that's relatable. Yeah, my aunt told me last night. She said no is a complete sentence. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, just no. That is It's a complete sentence. Um, Debbie Sue says it is hard. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story that happened this past Sunday. Um, my husband and a coworker of mine from a coworker that I worked with before I went remote. We have another coworker that my husband had worked with this man for 20 plus years, and I've known him and have been close to him for about 8 years. So the other coworker, the female coworker, she was like, we have to go to do a wellness check, because he's no longer working. He's retired now, and he hasn't been talking with us on the phone. We're always on the phone, and so she was like, it's time for us to go out to his house and do a wellness check. So I was saying, well, don't you think we should call him and talk to him and ask him if we could come, or just see how he's doing on the phone? And she was like, no, we going out there. So we drove to El Monte, California on this past Sunday. And so we're knocking on the door, and he's not answering the door. He has a dog, and the dog is not barking. And so I was on the phone outside his door calling him. He's not answering his phone. But finally he came to the door, and he opened the door. And I always called him Big Daddy, because he was always bossy, So he was like, what are y'all doing here? I don't want to see nobody. No, you didn't. No, I didn't answer the phone, and I didn't answer the door. Excuse me, because I don't want to have visitors. Now it took me all this time to walk to the door, and now I got to get back to my bed. But he did not. He was saying no, he did not want a visit, and he was sick, and he was like, I'm sick. I just want to go back to bed. And I don't want to visit with you guys. But he did allow me to help him. He wouldn't let my husband or my other coworker come in the house, but he let me come in, and he was like, girl, just help me get back into bed, and y'all going on and leave me the heck alone. I'm fine. I'm sick, but I don't feel good, but I ain't up for no visiting. And he was just straightforward. Don't be doing that. So, you know, the no is no. And he was setting a boundary, you know, and even though I crossed it a little bit, because I could see the condition that he was in, and that I really did need to help him get back to his bed. So I did help him get back to the bed, and I locked up. and the dog never made a sound. She was just sitting there watching my every move. But yeah, setting boundaries is hard. It's hard to tell people no, or it's hard to tell them, uh, this is my space, and I don't, you know, this is where I draw the line, or whatever it is that we need to say, to keep those boundaries in place. Rebecca said, I know, Debbie, I use no, thank you in that case. So, yeah, she says she doesn't want, Debbie Sue says she doesn't want to hurt um, anybody's feelings. And Jackie said, yeah, I know it can be frustrating sometimes. Yeah, because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. But there is a way to set boundaries, and you can do those boundaries in love, you know. And sometimes that even entails saying why it's a no, even though you may not feel like you owe that to the person, but if it's going to soothe that feeling of not hurting anyone's feelings, you can maybe go the extra mile and say, well, the reason why is because of this or of that. But in my case, um, I'm just going to put it out here. When I came home from prison, I had to set a boundary with my family members. Um, and that boundary was, you know, I'm not going to rehash. I've already, spoke to the problems and the issues that I cause in their lives. I've, made amends in the areas where I needed to make the amends. And I shared, my apologies, and, I allowed them to talk to me about how my behaviors and the things that happened that took me there, how that affected their lives. But after all of that, and when I, came back, I was like, look, I'm not going to allow anybody to hold me hostage for things that I done, in the past. We have talked about it, and you're saying that you're no longer holding me. So you do not get to come back and rehash or bring that back up when we're in a, life situation, and you come and you say, well, if you had not, we're not going back there. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to tolerate that. So that was a boundary that I had to set. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life as I go through this process of recovery from where I was, and what I had to go through to get where I am. Uh, I'm not going to allow you guys to hold me hostage, or make me continuously be responsible for things that I've already apologized for, or things that I've already corrected in the relationships with you guys. And so, yeah, that was a boundary I have to set. And there are some other ones too, but I with that one, it was a firm boundary. But not all the boundaries that I place in my life are that way. Um, I can set boundaries and say no with love and respect to that person, or whoever it is that's around me. Yeah. So yeah, we have to, because if we don't, if we um are doing something for someone and we really don't want to do it, it really doesn't benefit them, because we did it begrudgingly or because we didn't want to hurt that person's feelings. And we don't want to do that. I think that it's hurting more than helping if we go ahead and do something that we really don't want to do or say something that we really don't want to say or it's just setting boundaries is important, and it can be done in love, and it can be done in dignity and worth of person, so yeah. So basically, I just wanted to talk about some of these things um that we experience um as we go through our lives, uh, and head toward those milestones that we set in our lives as we go through recovery. So recovery, no, it's not a destination. It's a journey. It's a process. It's a lifelong. As long as we're breathing, it's a journey. And so, uh, and we get to create and make those milestones, in the course of that. And we set boundaries and use coping skills along the way. So yeah, and you guys, I really want to thank you all for hanging out with me this morning and uh, talking, having this conversation with me. And I'm gonna go ahead and get to the next thing. I got some other things. People are expecting this uh, my Shopify to come up, at least by the middle of next week. So I got to finish, doing the things for that. And yeah, just we're just continuing on. But Jackie, now I know that you do lives, but you do them on in a different way because I caught a live that you had did. It looks like it was to your Facebook community. So I need to get those alerts so that I could uh, come and be a part of that and sharing your lives with you when you're doing that. Your walk and your relationship with the Lord and how you bless other people is beautiful. I love it. I need it in my life. So please make sure that I get the alerts when you're going live. Jackie says it's hard for people who are really independent or are used to being the ones helping to receive help. Okay, hold on, because that's a good one. It's hard for me because I am not used to it. And yeah, it's hard because you're always the one doing the helping. So it's hard for you to um receive help. That that could be that could be good and that could be not so good. So I'm wondering now, that makes me wonder where you are in that process of bringing a balance to that. I think that's a good question. How are you balancing that? And you have a beautiful day too, Rebecca. And Jackie says God is not through with me. He not through with none of us, but he is going to get us to where we need to be because he already said it before the foundation of the world. So that's something to take with me and to hold on to. Debbie Sue, I'm looking forward to your next one. And you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. And thank you again for being here with me today. I'll see you in the next one.